We're talking push trucks, PA posse, really big right rear wheels, and racing on dirt. From Silver Dollar to Williams Grove, Eldora to Devil's Bowl, and of course, Knoxville. This is Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Now your hosts, Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
Hello again. It is MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tire. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. And man, it is, I say this and it's just, it seems like it gets old. It's like our favorite time of the year because every week there's so much going on in the sprint car world. It's like, oh my gosh, I just can't even imagine it. We've got a great show for you here today. Sammy Swindell, 60 years old, still winning. And I heard he was dabbing.
Yeah, I need to ask about that.
We're going to find out about that. Sammy's going to join us. Billy Balog, the North Pole Nightmare. He was a nightmare for the World of Outlaws. He picked up the win, scored his first career World of Outlaw win. The Empire Super Sprints, a group you're very familiar with. Yep. I saw back years ago, used to watch race all the time. They are getting ready for Central New York Speed Week. Man, they're going to be busy. So we're going to talk with the current point leader, Jason Barney. And the World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Cars are headed to the Rockford Speedway, which for 68 years has been a paved track. It is now a dirt track today.
For the moment.
For the moment, exactly. And we're going to hear from David Deary with Rockford Speedway about the dirt takeover at Rockford. So Erin Crocker and Steve Post here. We have a great program for you, and we are so glad you've joined us. And Erin, I know last week I came in here off an Ohio Speed Week buzz. Yep. Okay. Now I'm here after a Pennsylvania Speed Week buzz.
Yeah.
I can just tell you, and you and I chatted just a little bit before the show. I did shows at Attica and Waynesfield in Ohio, and I did races at Lincoln and Path Valley in Pennsylvania. We had a couple things rained out in Pennsylvania, and I just am amazed at how strong the sprint car world is.
Yeah.
Just from a
car count, fans.
Team-wise, fans, all four races, capacity.
That's
to
awesome.
Standing room only, to we can't put any more people in crowds. That's what it's been all across the board. The racing has been phenomenal. This past weekend at Lincoln Speedway, I think the Lance Deweese, Donnie Kreitz story, I think when we look at 2016, okay, we're going to have a Knoxville Nationals winner. We're going to have this. We're going to have great stories. But I think when you look at 2016, the story of the year, because of the historical relevance of it, maybe this combination of Lance Deweese and Donnie Kreitz, because both are legends.
Yeah, and I think also on top of that, it's almost the year of the veterans. You have Sammy winning and Jack Hodenshield. Like, we have so many young and up-and-coming drivers, but it seems like the veterans are still the strongest. You know, it's
still
neat.
Still absolutely amazing, and got a chance to see Kreitz, the Kreitz car win at Lincoln. 4 wins in 9 races. And there's been some big ones.
Pretty good stats right there.
Yeah, I mean, this was a $7,000 win Pennsylvania Speed Week show. They won the World of Outlaws earlier this year. So they are rolling, and what a great race. I mean, they took the best from Lucas. They took the best shots from Hodnett. They took the best shots from Stevie Smith. And at the end, they were getting ready to take a shot from Danny Dietrich, and they turned every one of them away.
That's
and
impressive.
Parked it in Victory Lane. Crowd went wild. It was a great story. Sunday night, it was Path Valley. Okay.
I need to hear about this. I read on Twitter all about the Clausen-Hodnett battle.
Had I not seen the Sheldon Hodenshield, Kyle Larson battle at Waynesfield the week before, it would be hands down Clausen Hodnett at Path Valley is the best race I've seen in years and years. What I'm saying is it was a spectacular race.
Yeah.
I think Clausen's tweet actually, I think, Twitter, we're like, we have these phrases. I threw everything at him. I did everything I could do. And we know that most cases, when you say you did everything you do, you couldn't do it. Brian Clausen did everything he could do. When he tweeted that he threw everything at Hodnett, he threw everything, including the kitchen sink, at Hodnett.
And when Brian says that,
that's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. He's only won in a midget, a non-wing, everything else this year already.
I mean, there was doors slammed. There was lap cars ending up, I'm not sure that it was done that way, but lap cars turned into picks. Lap cars turned into nightmares for Hodnett. Lap cars were nightmares for Clausen.
Yeah.
Lap cars turned out to be redemption for Hodnett because he made a move at some point and he missed. There was a lap car down on the bottom of the track, and he kind of missed where he was going into one, and he kind of got in the middle, and he went up, and he diamonded that corner, and he went down the backstretch and passed 2 lap cars at one shot. Everyone in the place was just like, you're stunned at what a great move it was, but you're disappointed because this likely is going to mean this battle that we've been watching is over. Because the move he put on those lap cars was spectacular. Gave him some margin. We had a caution, then open track. We had a caution, but it gave him breathing room to get a rhythm, and he was just letting log in laps. And Clausen was still dealing with those 2 lap cars. But I am telling you, when you see something like that, you just get so rejuvenated as a sprint car fan. And the stories, and going back to Waynesfield, you had local hero with Sheldon Haudenschild and NASCAR driver with Kyle Larson, okay? Pennsylvania, you had local hero or villain. Yeah. It depends on who you are. And Hodnett, there are a lot of people on both sides with Hodnett right now because he's winning all these races. 16th win this year.
Wow.
Yeah, insane. So you have Hodnett or villain versus Brian Clausen's Circular Insanity Tour. Yeah. So you had great characters involved in it, great racers. And make no mistake about it. I mean, we love talking to Greg Hodnett. Greg Hodnett, and he will tell you, he is an aggressive racer.
Oh, absolutely.
He is very aggressive with his racing. And some people, that's what gets him the raspberries that he gets. Yeah. Well, that's a couple weeks ago. That was the whole topic with Lucas Wolf. He's aggressive. He makes no apologies for being aggressive. Greg Hodnett is a guy that's going to take. And he does. And this year he's taking a lot of trips to victory lane. But that has yielded this passion for and against him in Pennsylvania that's exciting.
Please tell your story as you were announcing.
So when I do announcing at a racetrack, I like to get things riled up. And I was doing a little announcing at Path Valley on Sunday night. And when you have someone that people love or hate, that's that's my dream. I don't know if it's every announcer's dream. That's my dream because you like to get people riled up, fired up. When you come to a race that I'm announcing at, I don't want you to sit on your hands and be bored. I want you to cheer because our drivers, our sprint car drivers are putting it on the line, and I want you to cheer for them because out of respect for these guys. So we did this. We're having fun, and I'm getting people riled up about Hodnett. So I'm going, hey, there he is. You love him. Everyone loves Greg Hodnett in the crowd, and people are booing, people are cheering, And things kind of quieted down, and I do a lot of my announcing from right in the stands. So some guy sitting right in front of me gave me just the greatest thing in the world, and he's sitting there. He says, "Yeah, those people booing will be cheering for him when the World of Outlaws come in." Well, sure enough, and I heard that, and I said, "All right, those of you booing, you're going to be cheering when the World of Outlaws." Yeah. What about Donnie Schatz? And the crowd just went wild for Hodnett, and it's the beauty of Pennsylvania, and it was Fred Raymer that held that mantle. Where they would boo him except for 6 times a year, where they would cheer him. I think we're getting to that with Hodnett in Pennsylvania, where there's a bunch of people, but I'm telling you, when the World of Outlaws roll into town, that Hodnett is the worst thing in the world except for those 12 World of Outlaw drivers. Then he's all right. So it is great. It's very exciting what's going on in Pennsylvania. So exciting across the board. Saturday night was the night of old guys. Yeah. Sammy Swindell scored the win with the National Sprint League. We're going to talk to Sammy. Jack with apparently Jack Haudenschild classic slider, in fact, using cushion, over cushion, and wall, scored the win at Eldora. Lance Deweese won at Lincoln. We talked about that. And not that he's really old, but experienced. Yeah. Byron Reed won at Fremont. And I'm telling you, that guy's got a lot of laps. We were talking in the pits afterwards at Lincoln and just kicking that around. And the old guys don't like the young kids going to the speed shop and buying all the parts that they develop. I mean, we understand that. Fred Raymer, and love Fred Raymer to death. Fred Raymer, he says, just goes to show you can't go buy experience at the speed shop. Which is a very valid point. Yeah. Very true statement. So really, really cool. Some great stuff across sprint car world and sprint car racing. Let's take a look at our Valco Racing Wheels results page. The Arctic Cat All-Star Circuit of Champions. They wrapped up Ohio Speed Week. Lima Land, well, here we go. Yeah. Another. Randy Hannigan scored the win at Lima Land and Eldora Speedway. Jack Haudenschild, $10,000 to win. Chad Kemenaugh was the Ohio Speed Week champion. World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Cars. Jackson Motorplex, World of Outlaws versus the National Sprint League. Darren Pittman, his 5th win of the season. Saturday night at Beaver Dam, the North Pole Nightmare. Bill Balog, we'll talk to him later, upset the World of Outlaws and kept the trophy at home. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour presented by MAV TV. They were at the Dirt Cup out at Skagit. Thursday rained out. Mark Duperrin picked up the win on Friday, and Sam Haferteep Jr., who we talked to last week.
So excited to get there.
Well, he's very excited now because he had to go to
leaving
the
there too.
bank and $15,000 richer over Erin Reitzel and Seth Bergman. Mentioned Lance Deweese and Greg Hodnett getting the win in Pennsylvania. King of the West, Shane Golobeck picked up the win Friday night at Ocean Speedway, and Calistoga was Bug Kading. Other winners, how about Mark Dobmeyer won 2 of them at River Cities, including one was a full field invert.
That's cool.
Yeah, so he came.
Would have been a good show.
Yeah, exactly. So he came from, I think, of the cars left after the first one, I think there was 19 or 20 cars.
Wow.
Came from there to score the win. Badlands, Jody Rosenblum. Butler was Doug Zimmerman. Mercer was Jack Soderman. Joey Montgomery picked up the win at St. Francis. And there you have it, the Velco Racing Wheels results page. Velco Racing Wheels, made by racers for racers. www.velco.com. He's still winning. Sammy Swindell joins us next.
Winged Nation kicking up dirt with Steve and Erin right after this on MRN.com.
The 25th year of the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series is about to begin.
Expanded national and regional tours, over 150 events across the United States, and some of sprint car racing's biggest names and rising stars.
The 25th anniversary of the Lucas Oil ASCS is one you don't want to miss. Find out when the American Sprint Car Series is near you in 2016 at ASCSRacing.com. Find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter,
And catch all the action away from the track live at RacingBoys.com.
O'Reilly. Restore lost fuel economy and eliminate rough idle with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner and get 1 free. Clean clogged injectors and increase fuel efficiency with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Buy 2, get 1 free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Friday nights, it's all sprint cars. Saturday nights, it's IMCA modifieds and stock cars. Both nights is affordable family fun for the entire family. Witness incredible speeds, awesome power, and great side-by-side action at the all-new Jackson Motorplex. Be there this Friday night for EPS Building System Night and double features for the Last Deck 360 sprint cars, along with the Race Saver 305 sprints. Hot laps begin at 7:30. Saturday night, it's IMCA modifieds and stock cars. Hot laps at 7. The all-new Jackson Motorplex in Jackson, Minnesota, where kids 12 and under are free. Be there.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon, and now back to Wing Nation.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome back, everyone. It is MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Joining us now on the Classic Inc. pole position on the Hercules Tire Hotline, the winner Saturday night at the famed Marion County Fairgrounds, his 49th trip to Victory Lane at Knoxville. Sammy Swindell is still winning. Sammy, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Congratulations. Okay, let me see. You started 4th, you dropped to 7th, and you passed on the last lap. It sounds like you had to work pretty hard to get that one Saturday night.
Yeah, well, it's just I made the wrong decision there on the start, and just got in the wrong place there and got stuck for a lap or so. So, but it made it a little more interesting. I just put my head down and get after it.
Sammy, I watched the video, and you seem to be one of the only cars that can make the bottom of the track work. How did you make that work for you? And also, can you help? I was trying to describe to Steve a few weeks back how difficult it is to run the bottom at a place like Knoxville, where it's high momentum, and just it's how difficult that is.
Yeah, well, I was probably a little bit too tight to run at the top. So, but I'd watched the 360 race before, or the first half of it, and some guys were making some pretty good laps on the bottom. So we kind of, decided, well, maybe I'll, get the car where it'll go around there pretty good. So, but it's difficult because when you're running pretty fast there, even when it's slick, but it's like a berm, or the infield is higher than the racetrack. So there's a ledge that you have to kind of get on, but you can't get too much. It's a real good hard balance to do sometimes. It's similar to the one kind of like there at the Chili Bowl, some that you can, if you're kind of got it down or know what to expect, you can kind of get the left side wheels right there, or the left front on there, so the left rear is right down in that that last bit of grip that's right against that berm.
Man, it's so precise. It just amazes me, especially as I hang out with Erin and learn more from the driver's perspective. What you guys and gals do out there, it is so precise. But okay, Sammy. So you make a last lap pass, you win the race, you roll into victory lane. Okay, now I'm really concerned about this. Okay, you get on that's fine. You get on the tail tank, you celebrate, you even beat your chest, and then did I hear this right that you did the dab?
Yes.
What in the world led you to do that? Had you been practicing? What in the world? It's fantastic.
Well, we were at Kevin and Jordan's apartment, and they told me, well, you have to do this the next time you win. But it was quite a while ago, so I'm not sure if I did it exactly right, but I did my version of that.
Sammy, was there any extra emotion being in victory lane there, knowing that's where Kevin, had his injuries just not long ago?
Well, I don't try to look at it that way, but it's a little bit hard, I guess. But
yeah,
it's something that we're getting through, and he's getting through, and we're doing the best we can with, where we're at. Things are going to be fine. So I had a great time there. Enjoyed the race in the last couple of weeks. We came from way back the week before in a shortened race. It was only 20 laps, and so we've got a pretty good base to go on here now. So we're just doing some little fine tuning on things, and hopefully it'll pay off here next month.
No doubt. We're all looking to August, that's for sure. Sammy, when we look forward on your schedule, between now, we know that it's the Knoxville Nationals in August, but what, in big picture terms, what are you looking at? Do you have a few that you're going to? Is it still something that's a moving target? What's it look like for the next 5 or 6 weeks?
Well, I mean, they've kind of put out the schedule of what they wanted to do. So, I'm the guy that drives the car, not the one that creates the schedule. So, a lot of that's just up to what they want to do or where we're at. So, but I'm still doing a few more. So
that's good.
But it gets to the part of the career when you don't know when it's going to be the last win or the last race or the last T-shirt or the last dab.
No. It's not.
Sammy, some drivers we've had on recently say that weekly shows at Knoxville can almost not hurt you going into the Nationals, but can kind of throw you off because the track can be a lot different. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it is different. I mean, the Saturday night race, it starts, there's nothing on the racetrack till a lot later. So there's opportunities for it to be a bit different. But, I've been here a few times this year, and it's been different, I think, every night that I've been there. So you just have to roll with what's there and do the best you can.
Man, doing the best you can was victory lane, and what we are certainly hoping is not the last dab, because
yes.
I don't know. I can't seem to find this. I'm not sure if someone was rolling tape on it, so you're going to have to go win another one to give us one right on camera, Sammy.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I mean. Everybody better pay attention to what I'm doing, because you never know what they're going to miss.
Boy, that is for sure. This was funny, Sammy. I was in central Pennsylvania at Lincoln and then did Path Valley, and everyone was raving about the fact that you won, and then all of a sudden through social media they said you did the dab, and everyone's kind of like, we've got to see this. So I think you're going to have to do it again so we all make sure we get a shot of it. But Sammy, congratulations. Just still winning. I love that hashtag, still winning. Congratulations on that win at Knoxville. And I know there'll be dabs, and we'll get a chance to talk to you here on Wing Nation again down the road. But thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm still winning every day.
That's exactly
That's
right.
awesome.
That is exactly right. That is the legendary Sammy Swindell. How about that? Just amazing.
He is amazing.
He
Honestly.
really, truly is. And it's just, we have had so much fun over the years, Kendra and I chatting with him, because whether it's good days or bad days or tech talk or whatever, we've just always have the most fascinating conversations with Sammy because he's one of the most fascinating people.
He is. And he is so knowledgeable about the cars and about the setup. And it's really fun to talk to him, especially as a competitor, off the track,
I bet.
away from the track. Because at the track, like any competitor, but especially someone like Sammy, he's so focused there. Like, I'm sure if you've ever tried to interview him at the track, it's a totally different interview than away. But I just love to talk to him and to Amy and the whole family. They're just great people.
We had that time period where Kevin was racing in NASCAR. Sammy did a lot of traveling with him, and I had at Richmond and at Homestead. I am telling you, they had to be at least 45-minute conversations with Sammy about racing, about sprint cars, about NASCAR, about life, about everything. Just the most fascinating. He is the most interesting and you're right, knowledgeable person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just absolutely amazing. And he still gets people riled up, fired up, good and bad. And it was good on Saturday night with him winning at Knoxville.
That was awesome to see.
Really, really cool to see, winning that National Sprint League event out at the famed Knoxville Raceway. We do need to step away. We've got the Great American Short Track or Great American Dirt Track coming up. We've got Billy Balog and our Hall of Fame segment all coming up down the road. A little bit later on, we're going to talk Empire Super Sprints and the Dirt Takeover at Rockford. Don't you dare go anywhere else. Wing Nation, we'll be back in just a moment.
I'm Kerry Madsen, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Classic Ink USA Screen Printing and Embroidery is constantly testing the limits of custom racewear and specialized embroidery. Headquartered in Western Pennsylvania, Classic Ink holds the highest standard, maximizing your return as well as the ultimate customer satisfaction. From track swag fanwear to quick crew wear, Classic Ink has you covered. Their dedicated staff and designers will keep your race team and fans looking sharp. Contact Classic Ink today and get your team ahead of the competition. www.classicinkusa.com. That's Classic Ink at the track and on your back.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in crafting hydraulic cylinders and components with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger and creating more opportunities for distributors and repair facilities. Crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. Aggressive Hydraulics.
Looking to find the best place for all the latest NASCAR Sprint Cup, Xfinity, Camping World Truck, K&N, and Modified Series news? MRN.com is the place to go. Your online home for NASCAR news, opinion, podcasts, videos, race schedules, results, and statistics. Award-winning motorsports writers keep you informed and up-to-date on all the latest breaking NASCAR news and in-depth stories and opinion. MRN.com, your online home for all the NASCAR information you're looking for. Time now for a look at a great American dirt track presented by another great American dirt track, the Speed Palace, Port Royal Speedway.
This is Ashley Stremme. A promoter with the nickname Fancy Pants had an idea. Take a horse track in California wine country and hold an automobile race. A dozen cars showed up for that first race at Calistoga Speedway in 1937 and began a tradition of California dirt racing that has lasted for nearly 80 years. Along came Louis Vermeil following World War II, who nurtured Calistoga and California sprint car racing for over 40 years as the half-mile track became the home of Northern California sprint car racing. Some of the best drivers of their era raced at Calistoga as the track's reputation grew to one demanding the driver's best effort and best equipment to contend for a win. Track champions have included Bud and Brent Kading, Jason Myers, Paul McMahon, and Steve Kent. Calistoga hosts the King of the West, the Civil War Series, the World of Outlaws, and is home to the Wine Country Classic and the Louis Vermeil Classic. Calistoga Speedway, a great American dirt track brought to you by another great American dirt track, the Speed Palace, Port Royal Speedway.
Thank you, Ashley. It is great hearing about these racetracks. Calistoga, you've raced there, right?
I have, and I was actually just up the road. I went to the NASCAR races this weekend.
Did you really? Yeah, so just in the vicinity.
Yep, when of course we couldn't go out there on Saturday night because we had a prior obligation, but I was kind of trying to pull Ray's arm out of the event so we could get there.
Yeah, get up there.
But it's awesome racetrack, beautiful area.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, gorgeous track.
That's what I've heard. We've had, she mentioned Louis Vermeil. son, Dick Vermeil, NFL football coach.
Yep.
And so we've had Dick Vermeil on our MAV TV show and here on Wing Nation, and just fascinating his passion for sprint car racing. His dad ran the Owl Garage off the backstretch. Just great, great stuff. What we need you to do is go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/WingNation, and share with us memories, moments, videos, anything from Calistoga Speedway.
And I hope their memories are better than mine as a driver, because I
no.
ended up in the fence there.
Oh, so there's a mark on the wall where Aaron Crocker was there.
I was
Crocker
actually
was
kind
there.
of like hanging on the fence. It was one of
Really?
those that, it was good. Jonathan Allard and I were battling for like 16th position in the Outlaw race with a few laps to go, and he pulled a big slider that was never going to make it. So, yeah, it was good times. I went over and spoke to Jonathan during the red flag, like a
competitor should.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
Yeah, I probably made a fool of myself, but
you could tell he pulled a slider that was never going to work. You could tell because when you're the one pulling the slider, it's always going to work. When the one
when you're the one on the outside and you see them coming straight for you, you're like, this is never going to work.
That is fantastic. Calistoga Speedway, our Great American Dirt Track, brought to you this week by Port Royal, another Great American Dirt Track. Again, go to facebook.com/WingNation. We want to hear your Calistoga stories. A guy, you said you parked it on the fence at Calistoga. Well, a guy that parked it in Victory Lane up in Wisconsin at Beaver Dam on Saturday night with the World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Car Series, he turned it into a nightmare for the World of Outlaw drivers, a North Pole nightmare. Billy Balog is on the line. Hello, Bill. Welcome back to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Congratulations. What does it mean to you, and what has it meant since Saturday night to get that first World of Outlaw win?
Man, it's huge for us. Huge for the Wisconsin/Alaskan people. I guess that doesn't happen very often. So yeah, I still can't really believe it. It was just a really good night. It was an awesome night.
Bill, what was going through your mind under that caution when you had the last restart? Pittman's on you. What was going through your mind before that green flag came back out?
I guess just try to keep your head screwed on straight and don't worry about it that much. I felt like at the end there, we still had tires on the car. I was kind of a little bit worried about running out of fuel, but we had it leaned down pretty good. So, and the air was bad, so I think we were going to make it on fuel. But I was a little bit nervous about that. But yeah, and then been in that situation before where those double file restarts, those guys are just so good at it, and they'll just run you over, So. Just tried to pick the right line and get up there and get going.
Bill, this sport has so much passion, and we talk about state passion a lot of times, whether it's Ohio, Pennsylvania. We just talked about Calistoga, Wisconsin, and we've had a chance to spend some time up there with the IRA sprint car racers, and another one of those states that maybe doesn't get the credit it deserves as far as that passion goes. The Wisconsin sprint car fans are absolutely some of the best in the country. Rolling into Victory Lane, did you notice just the sheer pandemonium and chaos that you created up there?
It was just, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was unbelievable. There was, when they tell you to go to the scales over the radio, all I could hear was the crowd screaming over the officials' radio. So it was kind of exciting there. But yeah, it was just crazy in Victory Lane and back at the trailer and everything, and everybody was just really happy. It was, like I said, there's not very many non-outlaw guys that have done that. There's some of the super talents, I think, like Kyle Larson and people like that, which I'm not like that, but it was just kind of surprising, and it was a good 40 laps. So.
Bill, what's your schedule moving forward? I know you've multi-time IRA champion, but I saw on your schedule you had a few different races thrown in there.
Yeah, so we're going to run just a few more outlaw shows, and then we've been mainly running the IRA series with a couple different cars with Hans Lean, and there's another Ryan Auto car that they have 17 B numbers on them too, so we've kind of been spreading it around a little bit. And then NSL, we're going to try to do all the Jackson shows and support those. They have a really good purse and stuff. And we've been to Badlands a couple times and trying to, go out west a little bit and race with those guys. They're really good, and as you know, the purses have gotten better this year, so we've been trying to travel a little bit more. So yeah, it's going to try to do some IRA shows, that are close by, and then I think we're going to probably go to the Knoxville Nationals. As a matter of fact, I just printed off the entry form, so we'll probably do that. And just whatever we can get done,
It's so exciting, Bill, and we've chatted with you over the last few years. First off, as just a guy that was just the kingpin of the IRA. Then last year, you branched out and did a bunch of National Sprint League racing. From a competitive standpoint, and we also are with you. We love what's going on in the Midwest as far as bigger purses, a lot more tracks, a lot more money, a lot more option for you guys. But getting out and doing some more of those non-IRA things, getting some National Sprint League races in, getting to some things like that. How does that help you as far as continue to develop your talent and your team's talent as well?
Yeah, so I think it's super important, and I'm kind of surprised more people don't do it. It's some of those places, Badlands and the NSL shows, they'll about pay you to go there, so you can learn a lot too from them. I mean, racing with McCarl and all them guys, I mean, they're just super good. So it's you can have some disappointing nights, but at the end, you just get better and better. So, and we really haven't been running that great here, but we're kind of getting back going again and getting things narrowed down. So, yeah, I like to go out there and go out and race with those better cars, and our cars are good too. But there's just there's the Knoxville, the tradition there and all that, and they got her figured out. So it's nice to go there and get whooped once in a while.
How much does this World of Outlaw win boost your confidence and make you feel more comfortable maybe branching out to some more tracks and heading to the Knoxville Nationals?
I guess we've really never done much of anything at Knoxville, but there is some other tracks where, we're going to be at Cedar Lake in a couple of weeks. There's a 2-day outlaw show there. And I think we'll be okay, as long as we can keep the car together and, keep the engine together and all that stuff. Just kind of normal stuff. But yeah, it's a huge confidence booster for us. I mean, everybody's still super pumped up, and we learned some stuff with the shocks the other night. We went to Jackson the night before, learned a few things. We were actually pretty good at Jackson and then kind of screwed it up at the end there, but ended up with a DNF. But, it's just every night learning something new and just keep applying it. And hopefully we can have a couple of more good runs there, And I also want to mention we sold a lot of T-shirts the other night and raised a lot of money for the Max Fund. And we were at Rocky Rococo's the other day with the car, and he donated 17% of all the pizza sales and all the sales to the Max Fund, which is the Midwest Athletes Against Childhood Cancer. So that was pretty cool.
Dude, yeah, and I think we highlighted that on the Jeff Gordon, our Kick It segment a few months ago, and I just love what you do with that. I just think that that's so fantastic to be out there racing and having those highlight moments like Saturday night, standing in victory lane with the crowd losing their mind, but then thinking about it later on and saying, wow, we sold a lot of T-shirts and we raised a lot of money to help maybe this just dreaded childhood cancer thing. It's a salute to you on what you guys do.
Yeah, it's something new this year, and it's really rewarding for us, so it's pretty cool.
Final question for you. When we ran into you, Kendra and I were up at Oshkosh, Bagash. I always say Bagash on that. We met your sister, okay? Now,
okay.
So from Alaska, okay? Now, by any chance, was she around this weekend, or what was her reaction? Because she's a regular listener to the show, or she was then anyhow. Maybe we've turned her off.
No, she's been in jail for months, so no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's awesome.
She wasn't there, but she'll probably be down here sooner or later to go to some races and stuff and bring the kids. Her kids are getting older and doing more sports, so it's kind of a big deal to travel from Alaska to here. But yeah, one way or another, she'll probably come down here. And I think my dad's going to be here in a couple of weeks for Cedar Lake, so that'll be pretty cool too.
That's so awesome. So cool. Bill, we love what's happening with you, and we were just thrilled on Saturday night. Well, I was hanging out at Lincoln Speedway when the word came in that you whooped the Outlaws, and there was a lot of good sentiments, a lot of good vibes there in Pennsylvania for you doing that, because I think everyone realizes how important it is, or how special it is to be able to beat those guys when they roll in. So congratulations on the win. If we don't talk to you before, I know we'll talk to you at Knoxville, but down the road, I'm sure we'll chat along the way.
Okay, thank you.
There we go. That is Bill Balog, and he mentioned, not a lot of guys get to do that. Kerry Madsen did it at Eldora, but Kerry's kind of in that unique category that he's outlaw most of the time and everything. But listen to this list of other drivers this year that have beat the Outlaws. Terry McCarl at Knoxville. Legend.
Yeah.
Chad Kemenaugh in Ohio. Legend area. Lance Deweese in Pennsylvania. Boom. Legend. Bill Balog in Wisconsin. Legendary. Now a legend, exactly.
Yep.
So I just think he's so right when you think about it. You just going and beating the Outlaws, while it sounds great, and while we see it sometimes in Pennsylvania where it looks a little easier, Ohio's starting to look a little easier, it's never going to be easy anywhere you go.
No. I think it's really neat. Actually, I was at dinner with the Newmans on Saturday night, and middle of dinner, Ryan says, "Erin, look who won the Outlaw race, Bill Balog." Like, he out of nowhere brought it up. So
really?
yeah,
That's
it's
so
really
cool.
neat. Like, it was cool. I mean, I was like, what? I had to check my phone right away because it's just, I think Ryan and all of us appreciate how much of an accomplishment it is.
And that's what it was in Pennsylvania at Lincoln. It was that sentiment of somebody else beat the Outlaws. And Pennsylvania is an area where it happens maybe more than anywhere else, but yet they still marvel when someone beats the Outlaws, whether it's one of them there or somewhere else. So it's just really, really cool. What a great accomplishment for Bill Balog. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa, has their Expand the Dream program going on, and we like to talk a little bit about some of the legends of the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Sunday birthday was Tim Schaefer's birthday. Kramer Williamson, who we lost a few years ago. Randy Hannigan scored a birthday, won on Friday night.
That was really cool, too.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
He's won a lot of 360 races recently, but to see him back in All-Star
Victory Lane, yeah. You know, the thing about Hannigan, and I'm going way off track here, but I love talking about these. No, that's all right. The thing about Hannigan is that, and we know it's Lima Land. We know that's kind of his playground. But his other playground is a place called Eldora.
Yeah.
He gets around that joint
very well there.
really, really good. And while it would be a huge story with the Kings Royal coming up if Randy Hannigan won the race, it would not be a shocker because he runs so good at that racetrack.
He does.
So he celebrated a birthday on Sunday. Kenny Gritz and Lloyd Axel birthday on Monday. Coming up birthdays, Bobby Ward, Keith Hutton on Thursday, AJ Skip Jackson and Jerry Stone on Friday. But today, Johnny Anderson. Now, listen to this. I love there's a lot of times we'll talk about different stories you have with these guys from the Hall of Fame.
So you've got one today.
Well, it's just I love their stories, and that's what the Hall of Fame is about. Born in 1945 near Pensacola, Florida, in a military family. Raced quarter midgets, half midgets, hard tops. 1966, he purchased his first sprint car. Well, there was a problem. He was running with the NARC Tour in Northern California. Okay? Well, the NARC Tour, and this kid comes in and he starts whooping him. He becomes this young rock star. Well, then they discover he's not 21 years old. He can't race with NARC. So Johnny just decides to load up and head south and go to the CRA, who allowed kids. Well, NARC didn't want to lose their young rock star. They changed the rules.
That's cool.
So that he could race with him. So he came back and just continued to whoop him. He ran sprint cars on dirt and asphalt, a lot of success in midgets, won 2 Gold Cups, multiple World of Outlaw races. His biggest win was the 1980 Gold Cup. And I was reading an interview by him where he said, Rick Ferkel, Steve Kinzer, Sammy Swindell, Doug Wolfgang. I mean, it was just, he went the list of guys that he beat that day. And again, the same theme really. It doesn't matter if it's 1980 Dirt Cup or Wisconsin 2016. He did it. It was his biggest win. Story is interesting because a lot of times we see how these things end, but this one's got a little twist. Okay, November 3rd, Corona, California, big crash. Show was canceled. It was announced that Johnny had died. It was in all the papers the next day that Johnny had died, but he didn't. He continued on and continues on. Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine? No. So they got it wrong, and Johnny continued, and he was very active with a couple of the Hall of Fames in the northern part of California, and just a great Hall of Fame career. So saluting the birthday of Johnny Anderson. So,
very cool.
And fortunately, the news was wrong in 1980.
The newspapers and all.
Those newspapers got it wrong. So
those
really,
media
really
members.
That was media folks, exactly, no doubt. And that's the cool part. And those stories are contained in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, SprintCarHOF.com. And again, the largest inventory of sprint car related merchandise in the world. You can find it on SprintCarHOF.com. That's www.SprintCarHOF.com. Erin, we're going home next.
We
going
are.
to your neck of the woods. Empire Super Sprints. We don't talk a lot about the Empire Super Sprints. It's not a matter of not respecting because they have some great racers and great racing up there. It's a matter of the clock saying we've got only so much time to cover this whole great world of sprint car racing. But they are getting ready for their Central New York Speed Weeks, and we will talk with point leader Jason Barney in just a moment.
Hi, this is Sam Haferteep. You're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa.
Honoring sprint car racing's greatest achievers.
25 historic sprint cars on display, a movie theater featuring sprint car racing film, and a breathtaking view of historic Knoxville Raceway. Go to SprintCarStuff.com for the largest sprint car gift shop on the planet. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa.
What do you love most about July 4th weekend? Is it the food? The family? The fireworks? Well, this July 4th weekend, add one more word to the list. First. As in the first Coke Zero 400 at the world's first motorsports stadium. Everything you love about the holiday gets a huge upgrade at the all-new Daytona. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Coke Zero 400, powered by Coca-Cola. Saturday night, July 2nd. Guarantee your seats at 1-800-PIT-SHOP or DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
This is Winged Nation on MRN.com. Now, back to Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
We are having so much fun, and we are so glad you joined us here on MRN Wing Nation. And over the last few weeks, we've talked about Speed Weeks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We had the ASCS Speed Week, we had Ohio Speed Week, we've had Pennsylvania Speed Week. And if you're up in the upstate New York area, batten down the hatches, it's your turn because the ESS Central New York Speed Week kicks off tomorrow night, Wednesday night at Brewerton. And joining us is the point leader with the Empire Super Sprints, Jason Barney's on the line. Hello, Jason. Welcome to Wing Nation.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
It is
pretty cool being behind Sammy and Bill.
Yeah, we got an all-star lineup with all three of you, and we are so glad that you've joined us here on the program. So, are you rested? Are you ready? Everything ready to go here as you get set for 5 straight nights?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's really cool to have 5 great racetracks really close together, and a series that puts this on and allows us to do 5 straight nights. And it's really cool. We did ASCS National Speed Week a couple weeks ago, and that was cool, and it kind of get us in the mindset to do that again. And we look forward to it. It's really fun and really cool opportunity.
Jason, what was it like going and running with the ASCS? Competition-wise, how different was it for you?
We were fortunate to have some good success, and got lucky on a couple nights and caught a couple bad breaks, but it was fun. It was really good for our race team to do that, something we've been wanting to do, and I think it shows the level of competition that we get to race against at home. I think at home, and I think this Speed Week coming up is going to be just as competitive and demanding and as it was to do that, and it was a good measuring stick for us to see where we needed to be better and keep us on our toes with 5 different racetracks and 5 nights, and we look forward to next week. It's really fun.
I saw where you had written on Twitter that when you were at, I think it was Creek County Speedway, that you had never seen anything like it before, and I'm assuming because it was heavy fast track, and we know that Central New York seems to have a few slick tracks. So how important is it for you to run on different tracks like that and get that knowledge to come back and run with the ESS?
It was really cool. That was a really cool place. We, like you said, you've been there before. We only maybe see a cushion when we pull in the gate. It's usually pretty dusty
exactly.
and slicked off by the time we get out there. But it just kept you on your toes, and it was I really liked the smaller places, and it was kind of similar to Brewerton, so we familiar with there, and it was fun. It was completely different. The the tire is a little different than we use, but other than that, I thought that it wasn't a whole lot different than what we do at home.
Jason, when you first mentioned, when you first talked about going to ASCS Speed Week, you talked about the mindset, okay? You've ran Speed Weeks before. Erin has ran Speed Weeks before. I've been to 2 or 3 races in a row, and I'm exhausted when I get done. poor old radio guy, it's not the same. What is the mindset that you mentioned? Get in that mindset. What types of things are you getting into and getting prepared for, whether it was ASCS or getting ready for this weekend?
I think you have to kind of go into every night with a plan as to if this happens, what are we going to do? And if we see this type of surface or get in this type of situation, what's the next step, and just be ready for it, And I think, going there, it kept me and my mechanic Brandon on our toes. And it was a little different being, over 100 degrees and, racetracks we never saw before. But, I think your mindset has to be, if something happens and something changes, you just have to adapt really quickly. And, our 5 tracks up here, are, quarter miles, 3/8 miles, half miles, and 5 nights. And they all have, unique shapes and sizes and surfaces. And it's just, if you put together 5 good nights, you've really done something as a race team.
Jason, you mentioned how different the 5 tracks are. Being the defending champion, is there a track that you need to improve on? Is there a track that you like one more than the other?
We've won it 4 of the 5, and the one that we haven't won at, we've been decent, but we haven't been great. And we've already talked about, trying something new there and trying to be better. But, when you can come up with a plan all you want, but, until you pull in the gate and you kind of see how the night plays out, you have to just be able to change your plan and be able to adapt quickly. It's racing, and anything can happen. And I think that our series is great. The format keeps it really exciting, and it keeps the race teams on their toes. And you can have a great night, to start the night, but have to start 12th in the feature with the redraw, and you've got to be able to get to the front in a hurry and but not put yourself in a bad situation.
Wednesday night Brewerton, Thursday night Canandaigua, Friday night Can-Am Motorsport Park, Saturday night Fulton, and Sunday Utica Rome is where it's at. Which one have you? I hate to bring this up. Which one have you not won at? Which was the one you've not got the victory lane at yet?
Can-Am.
Okay.
It's the one place that I come from modifieds. We won small block race, big block race there, and we haven't won a sprint car race. So that's the one place I'd like to get so that I could get all 3 wins at the place. So. We'll keep trying and see what happens, and we look forward to being there.
Maybe Friday night's the night, that's for sure. We look forward to it. Can't wait to follow along with what you guys have going on up there. So cool with the ESS and everything going on up there. We appreciate your time. Good luck. Get rested up today because it all starts tomorrow at Brewerton. It's ESS Central New York Speed Week. Jason, 2 wins this season. Congratulations on that, and good luck all week long.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
There we go. That is Jason Barney, and you cut your teeth with ESS.
Yep.
I saw a lot of their races coming up through the dirt modified world when they would be companion races. What a great tour that is, and a great area of the country for sprint car racing.
It is a great tour. I don't know how many races they have on the schedule, but back in my day, like 15 years ago now, it was like 36 races or so, which is a good amount. I mean, when you have a certain budget, it was a good amount of races to run that kept you in the car often, and they're all within a decent radius. You don't have to travel too far.
Especially this week, 5 of them.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Brewerton, Thursday, Canandaigua, Friday, Can-Am, Saturday, Fulton, Sunday, Utica, Rome. Going to be a great, great week, and we'll be posting stuff on our Twitter page. We're going to follow along with the folks up there and see how they're doing. And, hey, you folks in Central New York, tweet your seat. We love to see what those tracks look like, especially tracks.
Those are great tracks, and they're all very different.
Exactly, and I've been to every one of them, but it's been a lot of years, so I want to see what these places look like. I want to see what they look like. We need to step away. When we come back, it's a dirt takeover in Illinois. We'll tell you all about it.
Hi, I'm Rico Aber, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Racers, that's who Valco wheels are. That's who they know, and racing is what they know. Valco Wheels focuses oval track and grassroots racing, and understand racers need a quality wheel that fits your budget. With over 25 years experience, Valco Wheels produces the best product and give you face-to-face support and customer service at the track. Fast delivery, innovative products, problem solving. Find Valco Wheels at Valco.com on Twitter or Facebook, or call Valco Wheels at 609-758-7013. Valco Wheels.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon. Did you know that 43 children are diagnosed with cancer each and every day? That more children die from cancer than any other disease? Athletes of all ages are dedicating their stats to change these stats, and you can too. Visit JeffGordonChildren'sFoundation.org to become a Kick It champion. No matter what sport, you can use your points, laps, or goals to change the odds for kids with cancer. Make your stats really count. Become a Kick It champion.
O'Reilly. Restore lost fuel economy and eliminate rough idle with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner and get 1 free. Clean clogged injectors and increase fuel efficiency with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Buy 2, get 1 free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Tony Stewart. You're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Thank you, Tony. Welcome back, everyone. How about Tony Stewart getting the win?
Man, that was cool.
That was really, really cool. Man, out at Sonoma. Place at Path Valley lost their minds when we were able to announce that.
I think everyone did. Twitter, it was crazy.
It was so cool. It really was. Hey, what's going on in the sprint car world this week is a dirt takeover. The Rockford Speedway in Illinois has been around for 68 years. 68 years providing great paved track asphalt racing. Not this week. It is being transformed. Dirt is being put down. Jeff Wackerlin, one of our crew for Motor Racing Network, does a great job with the stories, and there's a story right now on it on MRN.com. But he went out there and had the chance to talk a little Clay Classic with track operator David Deary.
The first discussions about the World of Outlaws coming to the historic Rockford Speedway, it's actually been a few years since my brother Tom was involved with the organization. We've always kicked it around, jokingly, actually. And then with their involvement in the Craftsman, the Sears Group, and their relation to where their headquarters are and the location of Rockford Speedway, the discussions really started to get much deeper. And here we are today, and it's hard to believe that the track is getting built and the show is going on. As of Sunday night, we had all the clay down on the racetrack, and they began the process of spreading it out and starting to shape. And as you can see in the background, the shaping process and the packing process is going in place. So it's been a big challenge. Lots of equipment, lots of man hours, lots of fuel. We are going to complete the World of Outlaw events on Wednesday and Thursday night. We will take Friday night off, and then on Saturday night, July 2nd, we had planned on running our local divisions, our 4-cylinder class, our 6-cylinder class, some school buses, some spectacular drags, but a group of our late model competitors and the big 8 Series guys are building a posse to bring some actual pavement late models on Saturday, July 2nd to the program. So after Saturday, July 2nd, that'll be it for the clay. The crews will start in on Sunday, July 3rd for the removal process. We'll store it on site in our quarry area, and we'll see if I'll use it again next year or maybe not. We'll see how it all goes here in about 7 days. I'll let you know. The initial reaction was, again, they were like, "Are you sure? Is this real?" Then the ticket sales were real strong once the word got out. And then it kind of started to taper off, just like any event. And then the last week, and once people started seeing the clay get onto the racetrack and onto the infield, our phones have lit up, the internet has lit up, and sales are really, really strong, and we're looking for full capacity.
So that is David Deary, general manager up there. The Clay Classic, Wednesday night, World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Cars. Thursday night, World of Outlaw Craftsman Late Models. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, the track looked great.
Yeah,
banking
really
and good
does.
size.
Looks like a good racetrack. If you want to see that video, the YouTube page has the video here, our YouTube show. We could actually see the video here. I know most of you listen on radio, and you couldn't see it. The place looks really good, and we're going to have a lot of fun with social media with that as well. And there's pictures and stories, that story on MRN.com. Time for our Jeff Gordon's Kick It Person of the Week. Saturday night at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway, it was the Kevin Gobrecht Memorial. Kevin was a huge rising star in the sport of sprint car racing, tragically died in 1999 at 30 years of age. And what we've seen so many times with this Jeff Gordon's Kick It Person of the Week is somebody that carries on the tradition. And in this case, we're going to award it to the Gobrecht family. The family has developed the Kevin Gobrecht Scholarship Fund. They give away 2 $2,500 scholarships a year. The scholarships are on the basis of the importance of education and a passion for racing. So we like that.
Yeah.
You've got to establish both of those. They give away one at Lincoln Speedway, which they did on Saturday night, and one at Cumberland Valley High School. They also have a $1,000 YMCA leadership scholarship as well. So really, really cool, $6,000 a year in the scholarship fund. And so the Gobrecht family is our Kick It Person of the Week, and great people. I actually talked to Scott at, here's the thing, when you have so much taken from you from sprint car racing, and we understand Kevin, sprint car racing was his life, but when you have so much taken from you from that passion, you just wonder where the family moves forward. Is it without sprint cars in their world? Well, that's not been the case. Scott still fields a 410 car, and he just recently purchased the Susquehanna Speedway. And so out of a tragic situation has come this beautiful scholarship plan, and still great racing at Susquehanna as well.
Yep,
So really
and carrying on his legacy and his name.
Yeah, exactly. So really cool. So our Kick It Person of the Week, the Gobrecht family for the Kevin Gobrecht Memorial Scholarship Fund. Upcoming races this weekend, we mentioned it just a moment ago. Wednesday night is the Clay Classic at Rockford, Illinois. World of Outlaws. Oh, this is going to be big. They're going into Badlands this weekend, Friday and Saturday.
That'll be a great race, too.
Woo! Batten down the hatches on, or no, Saturday and Sunday.
Oh,
Saturday
yeah.
and Sunday. So that's going to be great. Okay. Pennsylvania Speed Week. I know, folks, we haven't forgot about you from the first segment. Tonight, Grandview. Wednesday night, Hagerstown. Thursday night, the Speed Palace. Friday night, Williams Grove. Saturday night, the Speed Palace, Port Royal. And it wraps up Sunday night with the Jan Apperman Memorial at Sealands Grove Speedway. And you know our Twitter machine is going to be just on fire with Pennsylvania Speed Week stuff. Arctic Cat All-Star Circuit of Champions. Saturday night, they're at Hartford, Michigan. And Sunday, this is the Dirty 30 race. Tony Stewart's putting this on himself. And it is at I-96 Speedway, Lake Odessa. And Tony is going to race and maybe even score the win at Daytona on Saturday night.
Yep.
Jump on a fast plane and go up. He's even signing autographs at I-96.
So what's the Dirty 30 all about? Or do I not want to ask
with Tony
involved?
Stewart, you may want to just back off on this. It may have a duplicate meaning. Yes.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
Dirt tracks and 30 laps. How
All
about
right,
that?
there
We'll
we
go with
go.
that. Exactly. Yes, indeed. With Tony, one never knows. National Sprint League in Knoxville. Man, this is going to be epic again. A Friday and Saturday night double. 2 big nights of 410 racing at the famed Marion County Fairgrounds. And this has been a fascinating season because I think we're guilty in some places with the all-stars of crowning Dale Blaney.
Yeah.
Not slam dunk. And with the National Sprint League crowning Danny Lasowski, there's a crowd pleaser that is leading the points.
Yeah.
Craig Delansky. So this battle continues with 2 great nights at Knoxville Raceway. IRA bumper-to-bumper sprints, Manitowoc Expo Center Speedway on Friday, Seymour Tri-Oval Speedway in Seymour, Wisconsin on Sunday. Neil Tire and Auto Moa Sprints presented by Casey's General Store. Tri-Cities in Pontoon Beach, Illinois on Friday. Tri-State in Hobstadt, Indiana on Sunday. So Tri-Cities, Tri-State. Got that one covered. They need a third race in there, and then they got the
Tri-country.
Tri-country, exactly. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour presented by MAV TV. They are way out west. The second annual Fred Brownfield Classic at Greyhounds Harbor, Friday and Saturday night racing, and it is going to be another big one out there. Johnny Herrera, the reigning champ of that race, and I love it. RacingBoys.com going to have all the coverage from out at Elma, Washington at Grays Harbor, regional racing, Missouri and Mississippi, weekly racing, River City Speedway and Grand Forks on Friday night, Skyline Speedway in Stewart, Ohio on Friday, Saturday night racing at Butler and Quincy, Michigan, Mercer in Pennsylvania, St. Francis County and Farmington, Missouri, Wayne County in Ohio, Wilmot in Wisconsin, And listen to this, even Monday racing on the 4th of July, Silver Dollar Speedway in Chico, California, and Atomic Speedway in Chillicothe going to race on Monday.
So you got you covered anywhere in the country.
There will be no rest over the next 7 days, that's for sure. This week, MRN Wing Nation Weekend, presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. Sheldon Hodenshield going to join us. Great time talking with Sheldon, and join us at 9:30 on Saturday morning or 12:30 in the afternoon over on MAV TV. MRN.com, your source for all the latest sprint car and racing news. Follow us on Twitter at Wing Nation, on Facebook at facebook.com/Wing Nation. And by the way, on our Wing Nation Facebook page, we're having so much fun on the weekends with our polls and our questions. Man, you folks are so great. If you're not catching up with us over on Facebook, you're missing it, because we're asking, what's your headline of the week? What was the best thing you saw last night? And folks are putting video clips on and everything. It's been fantastic. It's a great way to follow along. So follow us there at facebook.com/Wing Nation. We appreciate Sammy Swindell, Bill Balog, Jason Barney for joining us. For Erin Crocker, I'm Steve Post. More important than all of that, thank you for joining us here on MRN Wing Nation.
You've been listening to the nation's premier winged sprint car radio program, Winged Nation. Tune in next Tuesday at noon for more talk from the dirt tracks. Winged Nation is also available on demand in the MRN.com Media Center or download from iTunes or Stitcher. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.